visual qualities. Meanwhile, the atmosphere influences the sense of place. A sense of place is essential in a cultural heritage place and determines the area sustainability. So according to the previous research, soundscape and acoustic attributes most influence place attachment in the sense of place. Next. So the research explain the condition of kampung which have a different atmosphere from other kampungs through the perspective of the human sense. This article aims to describe the atmosphere of Kampung Pujokusuman when the Yayasan Pamulang Beksa Sasminta Mardawa dance examination performance took place and explain the relationship between atmosphere perception and sense of place. Next. Okay, the research used for leading main theories. There are identity, sensory experience, then atmosphere and sense of place. Next. This research is a part an extensive mixed method study of the visual and acoustic elements of historic kampungs in Yogyakarta. In this article, we explain just the quantitative approach used in primary research. The instrument we have two questionnaire about perception of Kampung Pujokusuman and the second is about sense of place. Then we analyze with three stages. First, using principal component analysis, then correlation and regression. For respondent criteria, we have respondent above 19 years, female and male, live in Yogyakarta and have interest about dance activities. The respondent came to Dalam Pujokusuman at 21 or 22 December 2023 between 2 until 8 p.m. And the respondent is, we have 36 visitors as our respondent in this research. Next. And this is a picture of the atmosphere of the dance performance activities in Kampung Pujokusuman. We can see through this picture, there are a dancer preparing for performance, and then dancer in makeup, and the audience sit down in the front of pendopo, and then there are food vendor who sell until the evening. And we can see visually the disorder is visible from the motorbike parking, dress, and the messy sandals. Besides that, through the sound recording, I play the recording first. So this is the soundscape of the event of Pujokusuman. There are Javanese music, and then the children is speaking in Javanese language, and then the MC will talking to the audience, and then the applause sound. Next. Through PCA, we found 7 dimensions which describe the quality of Kampung Pujokusuman and 3 dimensions which describe their sense of place. Of the 7 dimensions, 3 of them are the atmosphere of the audial quality that is vibrant, tranquility, and boisterous. Vivid and distinctiveness describe the visual quality, then comfortable and attractive describe the overall comfort in Pujokusuman. The 3 dimension which describe the sense of place is attachment, involvement, and unfamiliarity. Next. So after PCA, we use a correlation and regression analysis. We found that the 5 of dimension have a connection. 5 dimension that were correlated positively with each other, namely vibrant, attractive, comfort, distinctiveness, and attachment. And the largest correlation value occur between vibrant and attachment at 0.766. Generally, the atmosphere perception dimension of Kampung Pujo Kusuman influences the attachment dimension in the sense of place preference. However, in the regression value of the atmosphere perception dimension, only the vibrant dimension significantly influences the attachment dimension. Therefore, further analysis using bivariate analysis on the attachment dimension of the 7 dimension of atmosphere perception, this analysis found that the attachment dimension influenced the vibrant dimension, distinctiveness, comfort, and attractiveness. They have p-value 0.0016. From this result, we know if when people feel of atmosphere vibrant, distinctiveness, comfort, and attractiveness, they will feel more attached to the location. Next. For discussion, this research should be noted that the context of this research is unique, which is the location is a residential area in cultural heritage area, and it has a cultural event. And the quality of area was assessment by visitors. This study provides another perspective on the relationship between sound and sense of place. Where in previous studies, it was found that there was no significant relationship between sound source and place attachment in residential area. This study provides results that explain that there is a significant relationship between place attachment and vibrancy. So vibrancy shows the human perception that sound feels exciting, pleasant, enjoyable, and organized. In the realm of cultural heritage area, it is harmonious regarding the physical and non-physical aspect. The visual and audio together can create placemaking to improve sense of place. This statement adds previous research, which states that placemaking is seen through physical aspect. Next. For conclusion, Kampung Pujo Kusuman is a showcase of different side of kampung by giving it an identity as a cultural kampung. Through this research, we found that human perception plays a crucial role. There are sensory elements fortify the sense of place and contribute to conservation effort. Next. Thank you. Is masih ada satu. Okay. There is the reference of this PowerPoint. Thank you.
Thank you, Patricia, for your nice presentation. And well, actually, the sound is, I don't know, because probably I'm a Japanese, so I felt something when hear the gamelan song played by you during your presentation. Thank you. Is there any discussion from the audience, please? So, Patricia, how do you suggest in your design? I mean, because you say about the importance of vibrancy and soundscape, will it be incorporated your design, or how important it could be in your opinion based on your research?
Okay, from this research, I found if we design some heritage building or renovation or make it feel good looking like that, we must start to adding some activities, which is these activities have a vibrant atmosphere. it make the people there is pleasant and enjoy, and they can come every day with the atmosphere, not just one time only, just one season. So we can make a space which many people can do something in there and make the building or the area is lively.
So how about non-heritage building? Is it also important?
This is important, but my study in my doctoral program is limited in heritage
building.
study.
Yeah, I think it's a really nice finding, I guess. What will you get after you finish your doctorate study? Because I think it's gonna be like starting point not only for heritage building, but we also think like consider from previous presentation from Olivia and also from Tina about how important the community in, like when you're designing something that really has a deep meaning for the community itself. So thank you, Patricia, for your presentation. The next one, is she gonna give an online presentation? Mutia Sulis Tiastuti, is she there? Mutia Sulis Tiastuti. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, so your sound is clear, heard from here. Mutia Sulis Tiastuti will give a presentation about her research in Bandar Grise continuity, exploring adaptive reuse opportunities through the lens of heritage value metrics. So please give your presentation, Mutia.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mutia Sulistiastuti, and today I'll be representing Bu Sarah and the late Bu Happy to present our article with the title of Bandar Grise Continuity, Exploring Adaptive Reuse Opportunities Through the Lens of Heritage Value Metrics. So, heritage preservation is crucial for maintaining our cultural and historical assets. However, preserving heritage buildings presents several challenges, particularly in managing the interplay between tangible and intangible aspects here and dealing with the effects of urbanization. So while considerable attention has been made for heritage buildings in the context of heritage preservation, there remains a notable gap in applying the heritage value metrics, or it will be set as HVM. So most existing literature extensively discusses these aspects, which are the tangible and intangible aspects, but few studies utilize the HVM. So this study aims to explore adaptive reuse opportunities for heritage buildings in Bandar Gresik Regency, which is an area currently under development by the government. So what is heritage value metrics? HVM is a method that assesses and categorizes the significance of cultural heritage buildings, focusing on both tangible and intangible aspects. So the methodology includes several analytical steps, which are the chronomapping, value mapping, significance leveling. So here we enter the first phase, which is chronomapping. I will briefly explain about the Gresik history. So Gresik has a long history as a significant port city dating back to the Mojopahit Empire. So its strategic location contributed to its status as Bandar Gresik. The history and cultural diversity of Gresik are reflected in its urban morphology. So it has evolved over various periods, including the Majapahit era, and then Islamic, colonial, Japanese, and early independence periods. So the name of Bandar Gresik itself reflects its identity as a port with Bandar meaning port and Grise being the Dutch name for Gresik. So we tried to identify and narrow down what buildings to choose as a case studies. So therefore, we conduct a chronomapping to find out the history of the area and enrich information for value mapping material in the second and the third phase. So here we try to combine the urban morphological development and the aerial view of Bandar Grise that we got from Dutch documentation. So according to Sinaga, there are 5 main period stages that can be concluded from the urban morphological development, which are the Majapahit Kingdom period, the Islamic development period, the colonial period, the Japanese period, and the early independence period, which can be seen in this diagram. So the period that needs to be underlined in this in explaining urban morphological development and its relation to Bandar Grise corridor occurred or started from the third stage, which is the colonial period, which lasted from about 17th to 19th century because the building style symbolizes colonialism. But apart from the urban morphological development, we can see a significant change in the built environment from 1944 until now. However, the building that still exists has survived and has become a building designated as a cultural heritage building is the Indonesian Post Office. That's why we chose the Indonesian Post Office as the case study in this article. So this is the axonometry of Indonesian Post Office exterior from the 3D scanning. The Indonesian Post Office building in Bandar Grise corridor exemplifies the changes that have occurred in the built environment. Originally a single function building, now the Indonesian Post Office building has now been divided into 2 functions, which are private residential use, the blue one here, and the post office itself that I give the red color here. So these changes are visible in the building's facade, illustrating the adaptive nature of structure over time. So here we've come to the result of value mapping and significance leveling. So basically by filling relevant cells with text and images and leaving irrelevant connection blank, this matrix facilitates the identification of correlation of tangible and intangible aspects of heritage assets, forming the basis for a comprehensive understanding of their significance. So here I will break the table into several parts to make it easier to see. Here we can see that the surrounding element, story, site, and structure has a high value because of the history that lies in the physical fabrics, making it more valuable. For example, there is a historical relics around the buildings and the Indian Empire style that the building are seen in the column, and then the imperative of the location. But there is one low value that we found in the structured aspects, which become low because of the low quality of the structure on the east side of the building. Other than that, we also have some medium value, for example, skin and service. The medium value is obtained because there are several physical aspects that have changed over time, or the physical quality has begun to degrade. For example, the condition of water gutter that look rusty and damaged but still original, or the change of color palette, and so on and so on. So the value mapping assessment revealed that the certain architectural elements, such as the surroundings such as the surrounding, story, site, and structural layers hold a higher value due to their historical significance and age. These elements are more permanent and external, making them less susceptible to change. In contrast, elements like space plan, skin, and surface are more adaptable and therefore have medium to low value. So this aligns with Brandt's sharing layer diagram, which categorize elements based on the susceptibility to change. In conclusion, this study has shown that the heritage value matrix, when aligned with Brandt's theory of sharing layers, is an effective tool for exploring adaptive reuse opportunities. The Bandar Grise case study highlights the potential for reusing historic buildings, even when challenges like private ownership arise, but maybe some limitation is yet to be determined. So by focusing on preserving high-value elements such as the structure and surroundings, adaptive reuse projects can respect the historical integrity of these sites while meeting modern needs. This approach not only preserves cultural heritage, but also supports sustainable development that bridges the past with the present. Thank you. That's all of my presentation. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Mutia Suliastuti, you did a great through continuity from, I don't know what era is that, from the Dutch colonialism in what year? Your research from what year, Bandar Grise?
From the 17th century.
17th century, so you get data from 17th century until recently, until right now.
Yes.
You said about the use of the post office for residential. Is it just happened recently?
It happens from 2000, I think, from the chrono mapping that I did earlier.
From around the year 2000. Okay. From the audience, is there any discussion or question about the research in HVM, Heritage Value Metric? It's a nice presentation what we have so far. I mean, we have a presenter with different perspective to see the heritage urban reuse things. So I think you can also learn each other. I mean, I learned a lot from this presentation this afternoon. So I hope that you can continue your research, Mutia Sulistiastuti, not only in Bandar Grise, but probably other cities as well, which has similar context with Bandar Grise. Thank you, Mutia Sulistiastuti, from your presentation. So for the last one for this session, Sasa Bella, you're already here. So Sasa Bella will give her presentation about managing heritage asset, issues, challenges, and the future of historic building in Sagan area. Is it in Yogyakarta? Sagan, Yogyakarta. Okay, so Sagan is a nearby area from here. So, okay.
Okay, thank you for the opportunities. Good afternoon, everyone. Let me introduce myself. I'm Sasa Bella, and I'm working with my two lecturers. It's Bagaskara and Fatima Putri Prativi. We are from Property Management and Appraisal, Vocational College, Universitas Gadjah Mada. And this session, we will discuss about the managing heritage asset, especially in Sagan area. Maybe have you ever strolled through the Sagan area and been captivated by its beautiful historic building? And the structure are not just architectural marvel, they're a repository of the cultural heritage. But through that, there's a lot of trees that can jeopardize the existence. So through our research, we aim to shed light on challenges and explore the potential solution to preserve this historic building. Next. Next. Okay. The first one, let's talk about the heritage asset management. Actually, heritage assets are infallible and requires meticulous management. In Yogyakarta, especially, to maintain the historic building is demand specific plan rules and also the premise. And also effective management involve identify, documenting, and assessing the condition of this asset is crucial to maintain the heritage asset itself. So how about the adaptive reuse? So transforming old building for a new purpose can be beneficial for environment, preserve history, and also for the generate economic benefit. Although adaptive reuse is complex and requires through the research, it is a key to revitalizing historic building, especially for the tourism. And repurposing historic building as a hotels can also help them maintain cultural identify and collective memory, attracting guests and enhancing more cultural tourism. However, these challenges such as limited resource and public disinterest can impact the action. So through our research, we highlight the managerial and social issues that hinder the preservation and utilization of the heritage asset itself. And we choose Indraloka Heritage Homestay as our case study, and we will address these issues and purpose selection. Next. Okay, let's talk about the Indraloka. Indraloka is a historical building that built in 1930 during the Dutch East Indies era. The building initially served as a private residence for a Dutch citizen at the era. So, since becoming a heritage homestay since 20, 2010, it immerses guests as in a unique cultural experience, making it a cherished destination for the seeking a deeper connection to Yogyakarta Pass, especially. Next. Okay, so the location for Indraloka is very specific because it's in central of Sagan area, and because its location, the Indraloka is located in Sagan area, it's close to CBD like Malioboro Street and Yogyakarta Monument, and it's very ideal for the business or leisure travelers. Despite its central location, it's also offer a peaceful retreat amidst the city's vibrant energy. So another thing is its proximity to major transportation routes, so it will ensures the convenience of the connectivity. Next. Okay, so Indraloka is also surrounded by a lot of dining scene with diverse option with walking distance, from local dishes to international. So Indraloka location offer a vibrant dining scene with a diverse option within walking distance from local dishes to international cuisines. So it make it a haven for food enthusiasts, especially for the tourists or travel. Sometimes they are looking for the hotel that near from the restaurant, right? So despite its strengths, Indraloka face managerial and social challenges. Next. So Indraloka Heritage Homestay faces several major challenges impacting the operation and also the guest experience. So the first one is about the limited staff that is impacting the guest experience and also the operational efficiency. And the Indraloka is facing bad occupancy, have the bad occupancy rate for the daily occupancy. It's only maximum for 20% only. And for the national holiday, it's maximum around 90%. So it never be 100%. So the potential solution for the managerial issues, like the manager can do like cross training, part-time contract staff, and technology integration, and also to boost the occupancy, they can do more marketing action, like what the Indraloka on Airbnb listing, especially for get more international tourism as their target of the customer. Next. So another challenge is about the heritage appreciation. Like we mentioned before, there's a public disinterest about the heritage asset because their thing is like outdated and impractical. So it's will lead the disinterest and underutilization. Besides that, there's a strict regulation to change the architectural for the historic building in Yogyakarta. So it's a little bit difficult. So the potential solution is about to the strategic collaboration and government have to involve on the preservation of the historic building itself and public investment is really needed and balancing the interest like the research that Kak Patricia did before. We need like activity to make the historical building is more life than before. Like so, historical building is can be more interested. So there are a lot of so it can attract more customer or more people to choose Indraloka to stay in Yogyakarta. Next. So the conclusion for the challenges to managerial and social issues, we need the strategic collaboration and also the effective management to manage the hotel, especially Indraloka because Indraloka is a heritage building. So I think it's all, and thank you.
Thank you, Salsabila. Well, I need to restrain myself for keep asking question because probably audience have a question or discussion for Salsabila. Yes, no, because it's quite different with other presenter because you also think about management, but this one is it owned by individual right now? The Indraloka, is it owned by individual? Run by individual?
Individual management.
Uh-huh.
Yes, it's
Oh,
for individual management. So we talk to the owner,
Mhm.
and there's banyak kekurangan in management.
Oh, okay.
Especially Indraloka is heritage building, and the owner is a little bit confused to manage this Indraloka.
Can you pull the presentation slide? Because you did the survey
Survey.
survey questionnaire with the you have a conversation with the
Yeah,
owner.
we did observation, and also we have a deep discussion about the management, and I think it's the method it's SWOT analysis. Yeah, we manage it because maybe a little bit information that my background and my lecture background is in business and management. So that's why we focus more about the management than the architectural or the building management.
Yeah, I think you need to point out like the methods of this research because when you did your presentation, probably I'm myself not really pay attention to your presentation, but I think it's really interesting when you can meet with the owner and he said on the owner say about the how the owner confused about the heritage, about the management, and I think it's probably better to see like several theory probably around like how manage the historical building. Yeah, I think you can incorporate that in the future because I think Indraloka is not the only one struggle to like maintain how the heritage building because like other presenters also have similar problems. So I think you can also learn also from them. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Salsabila, for your presentation. So
Thank you.
yeah. So by the end of this presentation, it means that our session has come to an end. But I think this is really interesting research idea, research progress, and also several research has a conclusion. But we can learn each other about, especially about how the heritage building, heritage area, not only tangible but also intangible as well, need to be preserved, not only by a person or an organization, but also supported by the community. And I think the community is really the strength that we have here in Indonesia or in our context right now. So once again, I'd like to thanks you all, and let's give applause for us when we did a great presentation and have a nice session this evening. I apologize if there's any inconvenience during this session. Thank you, and you have a good day. Thank you. So we have a photo session together with the online presenter. The online presenter probably also.